having fun under the golden sun. Christmas in Jamaica, here we come.
It's a season of giving when wish lists, realistic or not, are written with good intentions, and just about everyone you meet is willing to spread some ho 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 in one way or another. But there are others whose sole purpose is to create mischief and mayhem. Be on the lookout and stay tuned for tips on how to watch your back. Also in the half hour, the new Asikuda system and how it's helping Jamaica Customs fulfill its obligations. Plus, we reveal the finalists in the JIS Heritage Poster Competition. I'm Audrey Williams. Those features and more, not necessarily in that order, are next, so stay tuned.
You as parish managers, you as regional managers, know your role to do your inventory now, to see what you have and to mobilize the country. Outreach with communities, outreach with civil societies, outreach with the churches. That is what we are going to do. We are going to call on every single Jamaican. Look around your house, search your environment. Find this mosquito.
Join the fight. Eliminate the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Stop the spread of dengue and chikungunya. And keep Jamaica Zika free.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for Friday, December 11. Jamaica's economic standing is showing marked improvements, with the primary balance and net international reserves, NIR, being well ahead of target. Co-chair of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, Richard Viles, says the October result for the primary balance was 21% ahead of budget, while the November NIR was $1.9 billion more than targeted. He says the fiscal accounts are also seeing improvements. Revenues are $3 billion ahead of budget, while tax collection is up by $6.8 billion, $29.3 billion better than this time last year.
This is the second month that we have seen this phenomena where the revenues are better than budget and the tax collections are better than budget. And it must speak to greater tax compliance.
EPOC's co-chair made the disclosures during a press briefing on Thursday. The Angels to Linstead leg of the North-South Highway is to be opened next month. Minister of Transport Works and Housing, Dr. Omar Davies, made the announcement Thursday following a tour of the highway.
This project is obviously a major boost to the infrastructure of Jamaica. It will reduce travel time for motorists to Caymanas to 45 minutes if you abide by the speed limits.
Over $600 million has already been invested in the development. Meanwhile, the Caymanas to Mami Bay leg will be opened by February, paving the way for the dismantling of the existing toll plaza and the creation of new ones in March 2016. Jamaica has renewed a maritime and police cooperation agreement with Cuba. The two operational agreements are aimed at fighting the guns for drugs trade, terrorism and organized crime, as well as trafficking in persons and drugs. The agreements will also provide for information exchange and training between the security forces of both countries.
Transnational organized crime continues to be a global threat, and therefore the Caribbean Alliance against this phenomenon has to be fostered and strengthened.
Cooperation between the two countries is essential to successfully confront this band and neutralize the threats that this scourge represents for our people.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is now open on Saturdays. The Saturday openings will continue throughout the Christmas period to meet the increased demands at the ports. Opening hours have also been extended by an hour during the week. Director of Marine Wharves at Jamaica Customs, Kevin Carter, says the measures are part of the agency's push to ensure greater customer satisfaction during the festive season.
One of the things we try to ensure that the staff is not agitated. They understand the circumstances. We try to be as patient during this time.
Mr. Carter is, however, urging persons to go about clearing their goods as soon as their deliveries are available and not to wait until a later time. The full Issues and Answers interview with Mr. Carter may be seen this Sunday on this station inside Jamaica Magazine. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has announced the development of 1,500 new housing units in St. James. The units are being constructed through a soon-to-be-concluded joint venture between the National Housing Trust and a private developer.
The NHT is also concluding arrangements to provide interim financing for the 3 housing projects. One located in Hanover will provide more than 1,000 new housing solutions. Another will provide 244 housing solutions in St. James. The third will provide 116 housing solutions in St. Catherine.
The Prime Minister was speaking Wednesday as she handed over 113 housing units as well as residential and agricultural lots at Castletown in Balaclava, St. Elizabeth. The 53-acre NHT development is worth $237.1 million. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thank you for watching. Jamaica, among the top 10 most improved economies in the world. That's right, our island's business environment has advanced to the extent that the World Bank has noticed. The multilateral agency has named Jamaica one of the most improved economies globally in which to do business in its newly released Doing Business Report 2016. This ranking is attributed to Jamaica's implementation of 4 major reforms over the past year. Investors have noticed too and are coming on board. So let's continue to work together to make Jamaica the place of choice to do business.
The Jamaica Customs Agency reported recently that it surpassed its revenue target for the April 1 to November 30 period by 13%. Over $119 billion was collected during the period. This was made possible due to a number of initiatives to improve trade and customs administration. One such initiative was the Automated System for Customs Data, ASYCUDA. What's that about? Details next.
The Automated System for Customs Data, ASYCUDA for short. It's a big name for a big project that is reaping big rewards at the ports.
Just by eliminating the paper, all these entries that the importers or exporters or brokers have to use, we estimate that alone will save $537 million.
ASYCUDA World is helping the government in its pursuit of fiscal prudence and a credible macroeconomic program. Jamaica Customs exceeded the Finance Ministry's revenue target of approximately $12 billion for September 2015. The agency also exceeded its 2014 intake, moving from approximately $14 billion to $15 billion in gross revenue. Jamaica Customs has also surpassed its year-to-date gross collection, which has gone up from $75 billion to more than $88 billion so far for the fiscal year. These increases in revenue are greatly attributed to the newly implemented ASYCUDA World. The web-based application allows clients to undertake e-transactions, including manifest submissions, declarations, and payments. Basically, all users of customs can access information about transshipments through the agency's website, where a link to ASYCUDA World is provided. It's freeing up valuable space by replacing stacks of paperwork with electronic files.
These represent files from beyond July 2015. Evidence of the old system. Persons come to the export office with declarations, whether it be EX1, that's normal declaration, or EX2, which would be C43. They present their assessment notice to the officer. The officer brings up the assessment notice on the ASYCUDA World. We actually process it in terms of checking it, in terms of classification, checking for permits, all the requisite things that will uphold from the old system. Once we are satisfied, we will actually okay the process and send it to green.
The system has significantly improved the agency's efficiency outlook to the public.
We have always heard about lengthy waiting times, lengthy clearances in terms of and incurred costs, which is attributed to that where storage is concerned. This should be negated, if not significantly reduced. And of course, this is a cost saving to the importers as well. To date, we have seen just about 12,000 transactions being processed successfully from preparing the declarations all the way to the point of release by the examining officers at varying customs offices island-wide. We've also seen $8.7 billion in terms of revenue being collected. The increased transparency is, of course, obvious, and this is also being commented on where our stakeholders are concerned as well. They are seeing reduced times in terms of overheads, and certainly it is of benefit to all of us.
To access information or to process information on applications, there was a disconnect in a number of areas.
And that's how it all began. There were about 21 databases used by the agency to process information and data which was not connected. This needed to change. The government had heard of and seen the benefits of ASYCUDA in other countries, and after reviews, a decision was made to implement it here. The pilot started in December 2014 at all Sufferance Wharves island-wide, including the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam, the first importer to benefit under this phase. Approximately 174 brokers, importers, and customs staff members were trained in preparation for the pilot phase of the system. 10 exporters were also selected to participate in the pilot phase. By August 3, 2015, all exporters were required to use ASYCUDA World to submit electronic declarations to Jamaica Customs. It's expected that all importers will be brought on stream by December 2015, and the full implementation of ASYCUDA World is slated for March 2016. The system was developed by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, with ASYCUDA World being the most recent version of the software. The implementation of the system locally is being financed through a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank at a cost of $4 million.
Once a declaration is sent, the system will automatically send you a copy of that declaration as a notification.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is being lauded for moving to introduce the automated system for customs data ASYCUDA World. This web-based application is yielding significant cost savings and improving service delivery. It's all part of government's determination to implement systems that will improve trade facilitation and increase the country's competitiveness by making trade transactions simpler and smoother.
Last Friday, we began a countdown to the announcements of the winners in the JIS Heritage Essay and Poster competitions. The top 5 participants in the essay competition were revealed. This week, we present to you the finalists in the JIS Heritage Poster competition.
I am Sanjay Hudson.
I'm Abigail Spalding.
I'm Orion Black.
I'm Jody Levy.
I am Alexandra Powell.
I'm McKenna Wright.
And we are the finalists of the JIS Heritage Poster Competition 2015.
This year's second staging of the JIS Heritage Poster Competition was a success. 6 artistic students have creatively used their talents to create a poster focusing on the theme, a moment in the life of a Jamaican national hero.
I entered the JIS poster competition because I love art, I enjoy entering poster competitions, and I wanted to challenge myself and do something different, and maybe this would be a starting point for many other opportunities to come in the future.
I entered JIS poster competition to win, and also I have a passion for art and I wanted to express myself. I haven't been doing it lately, so I said, why not just enter the poster competition?
I entered this competition because of my love for art.
I entered this JIS poster competition because I love art and I would like to become an artist if God's will.
I wanted to test my skills in art because I wanted to become a designer.
I have always loved graphic designing, and I decided to use my talent to send a message as a reminder of a major part of our heritage.
I decided to get the chance to show the world what our national hero has done for us in the form of art. And art was meant to be viewed, so why not show something important to the people?
Each participant got the chance to choose either a graphic designed or illustrated poster to express their thoughts on their favorite national hero.
I chose Nani because she is a leader, a motivator, and research says that she, along with her other friends, they helped to free over 1,000 slaves, and this is portrayed by the slaves running to freedom in the sunset background.
I decided to use Jamaica's flag for the background because it shows the outcome of our heroes' work, which is independence. The hands in chains depicts the hardship and the oppressive behavior from the British. And the font, it basically shows how strong we Jamaicans are.
I chose this design because it has so much to do with slavery. And as you can see, no shoes, because in slavery days, the slaves weren't allowed to wear shoes. And the chains around the feet can show that they were under bondage and they have to answer to a bigger leader. And then on the chain, you have images where they were working many hours in the sun, in the night, hard labor, chopping cane just to please their plantation owner.
I chose Paul Bogle because he was one of the most outstanding national heroes that I knew.
I choose Samuel Sharp because he is an awesome hero and he is very educated. As a black man, although he is a slave, he travels to other communities and taught other people about Christianity.
My poster is about Nanny of the Maroons and some of the struggles she faced and the relentless fight she put up for the freedom of our ancestors.
Previous research have shown that the British were afraid of Nanny and her traps. Nanny was very clever, so at their facial expression, you could see that their fear that they were into an ambush or a trap.
The talent of these students and the message behind their artwork is outstanding.
It's so good to see a student who recognizes his talent and wants to improve on it and seeks the opportunity.
I am very proud of her, very proud. I feel very proud of her, she has been portraying, good graphic, good artistic skills that have made me really proud of her.
She saw this competition all by herself and she decided to take it on. And today I'm very proud of her because she's self-motivated.
Well, it's a proud feeling to know that he's just a 7th grader, right? And I hope this inspires him to aspire for greater achievement.
I am very happy, I'm elated actually, because I see Sanjay doing something that he's very passionate about and he's actually excelling at it.
I'm very excited about her achievements, I'm hoping to see her go even further.
All 6 posters were excellent, but there can only be one winner. This will be epic. Hold your breath. Or maybe not.
It's been 11 months.
7 years.
12 years.
Since I became the most important person in the world.
It's a big responsibility to know that her future is in our hands.
I have to tell him and show him that he is my number one.
I want to prepare them for life's journey. So as them grow, them know the difference between right and wrong.
I gotta make sure that we keep him out of bad company. Because if I don't raise him right, the streets are gonna raise him. I feel, she feel.
If me stumble, him fall.
Knowing I'm responsible for their future and they're responsible for Jamaica's future.
So I won't give up or allow her to quit.
I'm gonna make sure I'm safe on the straight and narrow.
Me prefer to tell them no now than watch them regret it later.
Because to the world, I'm just another person. But to my child, I'm the whole wide world.
The security forces have been doing much to keep Jamaica and Jamaicans safe. And over this busy holiday period, there's been a heavy detachment of police officers on the streets. But the police alone cannot keep us safe. We as civilians also have a role to play. Watch this.
It's a recurring situation, especially at this time of the year. the Christmas season.
Steal! Steal! How much do you steal, lady? Thief! 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 Right.
Okay, so maybe things wouldn't exactly play out like either of those situations, but the issue is real enough, and that's why the police have increased the number of patrols on the nation's streets.
We even empty out the police academy to get the new recruits out there, so we have high visibility, what we call public reassurance policing, that the people walk about, they can see police officers.
They have one strategic objective:
to serve, protect,
and reassure.
Statistics indicate that during the holiday period, there's a significant increase in major crimes. The police, with their limited resources, are using every bit of muscle energy to combat the problem.
They're interacting in a non-confrontational situation, and people look around and say, yeah, I feel safe, the cops are about here. It's good for crime prevention, because the bad guys also see the police officer walking around.
But you also have a role to play. A headache is not needed when contemplating how to stay safe at your home. There is something called crime prevention through environmental design. Big term, but it's simple. You can begin by trimming excess bushes, installing security lights, or installing a security system from a reputable company. While you're at it, ask yourself this question.
If I lost my keys, will I be able to get back into my home? Aha! I can just open the back window. That means an intruder can also get in. I've got to fix that.
On top of that, you need to ensure that you lock all windows, doors, and grills before you leave home. Ask a trusted neighbor to keep an eye on your home whenever you are out, but make sure you don't publicize your plans too much. Tell only those who need to know.
I need to stop hiding my keys under the mat and under the shell at my doorway. Nobody does that anymore. Wow, I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Likewise, make sure you have your keys ready as you approach your home. This way, you don't have to fumble in bags or pockets in search of them.
If you want a free crime prevention survey, police officers in the community safety branches throughout the country will be happy to come along, look at your home and tell you what crime prevention measures you might want to take to improve your security.
Believe it or not, there is also theft in the workplace, so you have to take precautions there too. Don't leave your handbags on desks with large sums of money exposed. Always put valuables in your designated drawer and keep it locked. Never assume a stranger wandering through a building is a member of staff.
Hi.
Challenge them with a simple,
"May I help you?" Okay, so let's go here.
Also, never allow anyone to remove office equipment without approval. As for the disclosure of information, regardless of how important the request seems, do not give any confidential information without receiving approval. That is definitely a no-no.
Do not be complacent.
You make it easier for pickpockets to sneak up and snatch any item that is catchy to the eye. And if you are being followed, cross the street to the other side. If the follower crosses as well, cross again. Remember though, walk facing the oncoming traffic. And if you're out shopping, keep your money in a secure location. Ladies, guard your handbags. And men, secure your wallets. Point of information to the men: your back pocket is not the safest place for your wallet. When using the ATM, don't exit with the money in hand. Put it in a safe place. The money in your hand is like honey to a nearby bee or thief.
What about if you're in a bus? That's a no-no. You might very well wake up and realize that your valuable possessions have disappeared, almost like a magic trick. As for the drivers,
use the main roads. Don't use little shortcuts through areas that may be a bit dodgy or you don't know very well. Okay?
you're also reminded to lock your car doors after entering the vehicle and keep valuables out of the public's view. So in the previous segment, you learned how to watch your back whether you're at home, on the streets, or even in the office. But what if you try all that and more and still come face to face with your attacker? You resort to this.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
All right, as someone who holds in weights, right? Chances are is a very strong person. So don't try and resist because he's very strong, right? Your arms are free. So what to do is strike to a vulnerable area. Ladies especially, strike to the throat. Very vulnerable. Strong either to the throat here, or make a fist and punch directly in the throat. Right, very effective. Or strike nose bridge here, driving the cartilage up. Very dangerous. Don't care how big the guy is, how strong he is. Hit him in the throat, he will go down.
And if someone should grab you by the throat, tuck down, turn away, then strike them across the face.
Don't do this, right? See? Might not work. Your arms are free. So you strike him, okay, see? Both arms occupied. So you strike him throat again, or even both ears. BAM! Here. Very effective. Then afterwards now you bring him up in the groin or in the face. The knees and elbows are very effective and potent weapons.
What if they want your keys? Don't give it to them. Throw it away, they'll get distracted, and then you run. And if you're approached from behind with a knife?
This way, away. You see? Go. So, slight glance this way. Don't go this way. Go this way. Knife, so you can see him across this way. So, you go slow motion like this way. Make sure you control it at all times. You control it. Control, right? Control at all times. Right? He will go down. Right? Right? You control. And if you get it, run fast as you can. Lift the heel high up and strike down in his instep on his toes. Hard. BAM! Down. Okay? Triangle. Hard to get through, right? Boxers do it. Right? You lock up. Protect, right? So, like this. So, that's up. 1, 2, right? Lock up. They can use your knee, right? Don't want to go in the stance like it's in the movies. I recommend it, right? But if you're cornered, can't go anywhere, you tuck your head down, both fists over, elbow out, and you lock up, right? Go, see? Right? You lock up. And then you can strike back using your elbows. Elbows, very effective. I believe in elbows a lot. Elbows, plexus, elbows, throat, elbows, back of the neck, elbows across the face, elbow, right? Elbows are very strong.
So the aim is to keep safe during the holiday season. Be alert, be in the know.
And that's it for Jamaica Magazine today. Do remember to be extra careful during this Yuletide season. You may also want to pencil in some time for useful information. Visit jis.gov.jm, our social media pages, and share your comments via email, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Have a great evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.